My name is Sophie. I'm 15 years old, and I live in a motorhome with my dad. People on the road always ask us the same question first. So, where's your mom? Some ask it gently. Some ask it like it's gossip. Some ask it just to fill the silence. So I usually say she lives her life somewhere else, and I leave it at that. Not because the truth hurts too much to say, but because the truth is heavy, and I learned young that not every silence needs to be filled. Our house has wheels. Our home has motion, the sky changes, the roads change, the scenery changes, but my dad and I, we stay. It's peaceful here. Not perfect, just peaceful enough. The mornings are quiet in a kind way. There's the sound of coffee dripping, the gentle rattle of pans while Dad makes breakfast, the soft scratching of snow, our little white rabbit hopping around the small rug beside the couch. Some days we're by the ocean, some days in the desert. Sometimes in forests where the trees lean close and whisper things only they understand. When I look at my dad now, I don't see the same man I saw when I was 8. Not because he's changed so much, but because I understand now what I couldn't understand then. He didn't run. He left to stay alive. And he took me with him so I wouldn't learn how to stop breathing in houses that forget how to breathe. I guess that's where the story really starts, not on the road, but in the house we left behind. When I was 8, our house was not broken in a loud way. It didn't crack like thunder. It didn't explode. It unraveled, softly, slowly, like a thread being pulled from a sweater. My mom, Megan, was not a monster. She was not cruel just to be cruel. She was someone made of feelings that were too sharp to hold, so she held them anyway, and they cut her from the inside out. She remembered everything, every mistake my dad ever made, every moment he wasn't what she needed him to be, every sentence spoken wrong, every silence that lasted too long. She stored memories the way some people store food for winter that never ended. And my dad, Michael, didn't hate her for it. He never said a bad word about her to me. He never rolled his eyes when she wasn't looking. He never made me choose sides. When they fought, and I watched my mom's voice turn sharp and my dad's eyes go distant, he would always come to me later. He would sit on the floor with me, legs crossed, so our eyes were on the same level. He didn't talk like a father explaining life from above. He talked like a person who didn't want to leave a wound behind. Sophie, he would say, your mom is hurting. Not because of you, not because of me, but because life didn't show her how to put heavy things down. I didn't understand completely, but I listened. I always listened. People who hurt inside, he said, sometimes hurt others without meaning to, but we don't hold that against them. We don't turn their pain into ours. He would always end with the same thing. Your heart is not responsible for fixing anyone. I remember those words more clearly than anything else from that time. Our house had a warm kitchen light that looked like late afternoon, even at night. There were drawings on the fridge, and there was always the sound of something simmering on the stove. But warmth can live in rooms where love has already left. Mom would move through the house like she was already halfway somewhere else. She didn't see Dad anymore. Not really. She saw mistakes wearing his face. Every time he tried to get close, she turned away. Every apology he offered felt to her like proof he had done something wrong. Every silence from him felt like abandonment. She built storms out of whispers and hurricanes out of memories. And when she got angry, she didn't yell. She aimed. Her voice got precise, sharp enough to strike, soft enough to hurt deeper. Dad never snapped. Not once in front of me. The closest he came was one night when she said something like, You're only still here because of her. And the room shook with the kind of silence that doesn't need sound to hit you. He didn't raise his voice. He just said, "No. I'm still here so she knows what love is supposed to look like." I didn't understand then. I understand now. There wasn't one big fight. There were hundreds of small ones, like pebbles tossed into water, ripples overlapping until the whole surface trembles. I held Snow on my lap a lot. Her heartbeat was fast. Mine was faster. The night everything changed, the house was quiet. Mom was in the bedroom. Dad was in the kitchen, hands pressed to the counter, breathing slow like each breath hurt. He called me over not urgently, just softly. "Little one, come here." I sat at the table, feet dangling above the floor. He didn't cry. He didn't look angry. He looked tired in a way that lived deep inside the bones. "I can't stay here anymore," he said. Not dramatic, not broken, just true. "What about Mom?" I asked. "She will live her life," he said, "and we will live ours." I remember asking, "Will she be okay?" Dad didn't answer right away. He took a slow breath. "I hope so," he said. "And that's all we can hope for someone." I didn't cry. Not then. The crying came years later, when my heart caught up. That night, he packed. Not everything, just what mattered. Clothes, my favorite sweater, a photo of me holding Snow and Snow herself in a little carrier with air holes. We didn't slam doors. We didn't sneak out. We walked, quietly, simply, together. Mom didn't stop us. She didn't come to the door. She had already left us long before we left her. The road didn't heal us. It just gave us space to breathe. We learned how to live in small spaces without feeling small. We learned how to talk without talking too much. We learned how to sit in silence without drowning in it. Dad never said Mom was the villain. He never turned me against her. He just helped me understand what I lived. We didn't run from the past. We just stopped letting it choose our future. Some sunsets feel like forgiveness. Some mornings feel like starting over. And sometimes, when the sky turns gold and the air smells like pine, Dad looks at me and smiles with the kind of smile that says, "We made it through. Not perfectly, but honestly." I haven't seen Mom in years. I don't hate her. I don't resent her. I just don't belong there anymore. Maybe one day our roads will cross. Maybe one day she'll learn how to set the heavy things down. Until then, I live here, with my dad, with Snow, with the open road and a heart that stayed whole because someone cared enough to teach me how. I didn't escape my childhood. I walked out of it with my hand in his, and that made all the difference. If this story stayed with you, tell me in the comments what part spoke to your words matter here. And if you want to hear more stories like this, real, quiet, please subscribe to the channel and we'll keep walking this road together.